So please be smart about that. My name is Shaylin Batt. I'm the Executive Director of CDOT. I see a lot of the Team CDOT here. If we just have everybody with Team CDOT, just raise your hand. All right, so thank you very much. We have I would say we want to be the best DOT in the country, and I know we definitely have the best people working here. And one of our commissioners is here, Kathy Goland, been a big supporter of our efforts in technology. I would say that a DOT exists for two reasons: to save lives and to make people's lives better. I was a deputy in Kentucky. I was a secretary in Delaware. I was at the Federal Highway Administration, and now here in Colorado. I think that DOTs across the country want to save lives and make people's lives better. I remember I was in Texas about a year ago, and I was talking to one of my colleagues there, and they said that they were losing one crash truck a week. Now, we say a crash truck, we mean a crash attenuator truck, an impact attenuator truck. And I just thought to myself, wow, one a week. I'm back. It's the mic I actually need to talk to. So they were losing one a week. In Colorado, we have about 6 a year of our crash trucks that get hit. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are concerned about automation and what it means for the future. But these are jobs that we actually do want to get people out of. We don't want human beings sitting in the truck. And I see one of our state patrol here. We also have had a couple of state troopers who have been killed the last couple of years on our highways. And one of the discussions that we had is there a way that we can look at some crash trucks to help them out? And so there's multiple facets here of how we save lives with this technology. And so we have a RoadX program that we came up with a couple of years ago, which was all about accelerating deployment of technology. What I find in my experience is that there's a lot of research, but it's hard to find partners to go out and deploy the technology. And that's why I'm so excited here today, because once we learned of this potential life-saving technology, our RoadX team went to work with partners at Colas UK, Royal Truck and Equipment, Kratos Defense and Security Solutions. I also want to highlight the City of Fort Collins and CSU, who have been incredibly important to this project. And in very short order, we have come together. This vehicle has been built, it's been fitted out, and today you're going to see it in action. And I'll let our partners describe how the technology works. What I care about is a vision of a future where vehicles don't crash, and in particular, people don't crash into a vehicle that has one of our men or women in it, because to me, that is what is most important. So it's exciting, it's cool. Everybody's very excited by connected and autonomous vehicle technologies. This is not a Tesla. You're not going to go and put an order down on one of these, but my prediction is in the future, all state DOTs here in the country and even internationally will be using technology like this, and I'm proud to have played a role. So our next speaker is Martin Knopp, who used to be my colleague when I was at the Federal Highway Administration. He has just been a fantastic partner, a real visionary leader. Martin, come on up and give us your comments. Thanks, Martin.
Thank you, Director Batt, for gracious remarks and for inviting me to be able to be here and participate. Very exciting. But as I start my remarks, I want to start off maybe just hitting a somber note for a moment to certainly build on what the Director had mentioned. And that's because when we look at the trends, look at the history and the data, we typically are looking at about a couple people losing their lives today in a work zone crash. And that's a couple people that didn't get to where they were going, a couple families that no longer are going to be able to see their loved ones. And so I want to make sure start off to realize how important something like this can be. A work zone crash happens in this country every 5.4 minutes on average. So by the time I'm done, there will likely have been statistically a work zone crash, and that on average every week, there are 12 of those crashes that involve at least one fatality. So this is something very important, and we might immediately think that It's the construction workers that are the ones that are at risk. But honestly, in fact, 4 out of 5 fatalities in work zone crashes, it's the driver. It's the driver or the passenger that they were just trying to navigate through a work zone. But certainly, the workers are ones that are no less important. We need to make sure everybody respects work zones. Earlier this year, the theme of the National Work Zone Awareness Week, the theme was work zone safety is in your hands. As you can see, how many people that are trying to drive and navigate through a work zone had an unfortunate something didn't go right, and there's lots of factors at play for that. Each crash is something that has to be inspected and researched uniquely, whether it's alcohol related, whether it's distraction. I think all of us can talk about how big of a deal distracted driving is. Speeding is another significant factor involved with lots of crashes, and if you look at the crash rate in work zones, it is higher than the crash rates in just general operating of the highway facility. In fact, in 2015, if you had the general rate of crashes, there would be 164 fewer fatalities that year. And so work zones certainly amp up the importance of being alert. They demand our attention. The workers need our support of them. And so we're looking to want to make people as safe as possible, whether they are workers helping to take care of things or people that are navigating. We need to get the message out, continue about not drinking and driving. Not when you're driving, that's not a place for doing email. It's not a place for texting. It's not a place for talking on the phone. I'm proud to say I'm not just encouraging everyone else and not following what I'm preaching. It's been over 7 years since I have talked on a phone while driving. And first 2 or 3 weeks, all right, that was a little itchy. But after that, I have not missed it at all. And it's important to stay attentive to what we're doing. The peace of mind that I've gotten for doing that is awesome. And so I encourage you, anywhere, but most especially in a work zone. The good news, as I might have started on a little somber note, highway work zone fatalities have been dropping over the last 10 years. It's about half today what it was in people losing their lives in work zones from 15 years ago. Half. I think everybody collectively together, raising the awareness, working in DOTs and others, half. But is that satisfactory? I think until we get to none, one is too many. And so we got to keep this going. At the Federal Highway Administration, and if I could, Team Federal Highways, we're partners with Team CDOT. If you could raise your hands up, we've got a couple people. I saw Eva back there, thank you. At the Federal Highway Administration, we are strong believers in technology and innovation and are working to make work zones smarter. Our Smarter Work Zone effort focuses on 2 strategies: project coordination and technology applications, especially those applications that help traffic managers manage the backup or the queue that's in a work zone, as well as help address speeds. As I mentioned earlier, speed is a very significant factor. So strategies for coordinating and managing work traffic can minimize travel delays and help maintain motorist worker safety. These rely on dynamic real-time information, and the operational and safety benefits can be very significant, especially in areas of high impact like metropolitan areas, or as the director said, areas of special events. And with the eclipse, this is a unique national special event where the venue is the whole country. So distracted driving is something that we got to really be paying attention to. In other areas, we're promoting the development of new highway materials and construction techniques that can reduce the time it takes to make repairs to roadways and make the roads and bridges more durable to not have to be under repair as frequently. So wherever we can reduce the amount of work zones, we can't get away from it. If we want to be mobile, we want to be safe, we're going to have to continue to work with work zones, but we can find ways to do it ever more efficiently. Some operational strategies can also include full road closures that get in, get out, and close the road for a certain time. It only applies in certain areas, just like a surgeon. In some operations, it's better to put somebody under while they do that, and other times they can do it outpatient. Same with times that leaders will look and say, how can we best manage the impacts? Federal Highways, we have several programs designed to support states as they work to protect motorists and the worker. Our work zone management program is focused on promoting such innovations that improve safety for both highway workers, the traveling public, reducing congestion, construction-related congestion, and help agencies get projects done quickly and at less cost. This fall, we will kick off our Work Zone Data Initiative, which will improve how we deal with information on work zone activity toward the goal of getting that information to the public and into the hands of traffic managers to have stronger tools for helping to manage work zone impacts. We have many tools in the toolbox. We didn't invent them all. We didn't invent maybe the majority. We work together with areas that are inventing it, public or private. And so when we look here, the Colorado DOT illustrates a fantastic, great example of how powerful tools that technology and innovation can be. With its RoadX program, Director, I commend you and your department, Team CDOT and others for the bold vision and commitment to innovative technology and partnerships. You didn't do this in a vacuum. You worked at how you can find the right players and work together with partners to make a difference in saving lives and improving efficiency. Through the program, CDOT is launching the autonomous truck-mounted attenuator as a pilot project that helps show what self-driving technology can do in the right application. It effectively eliminates the need for a driver in the vehicle, taking them out of harm's way. So while work zone safety is in your hands is the theme for everyone that's traveling, here's a technology where not having hands on the wheel to help better protect the workers who are working on this. So the Federal Highway Administration, we are very excited to see such progressive thinking and approaches such as this. I'd like to close by thanking the thousands of men and women working on America's highways this summer. They're putting their lives on the line for us so that people get home safely. America's highway workers roll up their sleeves to do some of the tough work in the hottest conditions, the cold, freezing conditions, the hardest, most thankless work sometimes just feet away from active traffic. So we need to remember that they are working hard so that our families, our neighbors, our communities are getting home or getting to where they need to be safely, and we need to make sure we do the same for them. The best thanks that we can show them is coming up to a work zone, being as attentive and courteous as possible, being mindful of our speed, helping to make sure we get home safely and the workers get home safely. So safe highways depend on safe drivers. So let's remember work zone safety is in your hands, and very excited to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, Martin. Thank you, Martin. That message really resonated. You know, as I was pulling up in here down the street, I saw all of these people like flooding across the street. I thought, wow, it's going to be a much bigger event than I thought. And I realized it's move-in day for the college. I was like, maybe, but it's a good crowd, but maybe not as all the hundreds of people I thought it might be. Our next speaker is the president of Royal Truck and Equipment. I don't think he's Scottish, but please welcome Rob Roy. Thank you.
Well, what an honor. Thank you all for coming out today. As the gentleman said, my name is Rob Roy. I'm here with my team with Royal and Maynard Factor with Kratos. So without their support, this certainly would not have happened today. Maynard is the business director for Kratos, and Kratos has been an amazing partner for the past 3 years, and it's been a long time coming, but this day has finally come. Today is very special for all of us at Royal Truck and Kratos, and we are very honored to be a part of this historic event. A little bit about Royal. We are a small truck manufacturing company with 2 facilities in the state of Pennsylvania. We started back in the mid-'80s with a big ambition of building a business that could make a difference. and living the American dream. So here we are today, launching the world's first self-driving work zone vehicle. We were very excited when Colorado reached out to us with a similar vision. Using innovation to modernize current production methods and adding an unmatched level of safety for our highway workers is a huge statement. This was the first big step into taking a leap into the future. Colorado is a very special place for me personally as well, not only because of this historic event that's taking place today, but a little over 60 years ago, I was actually born in Fitzsimmons Army Hospital in Denver, and 97 years ago, my grandfather graduated from this college. So this is life does offer its surprises. Being in business for over 30 years in Pennsylvania, we have built a lot of interesting trucks. We started building IPVs, or what we refer to as TMAs, about 15 years ago. Early on, we realized that there was no rhyme or reason as to how these safety vehicles were being built. And what we found is that the mindset was, and in most cases is still today, to take the cheapest truck in the backyard, install the least expensive cushion on it, put it in a work zone, and if it gets hit, it's no big loss. There's only one problem with that kind of thinking, and that is that there's folks standing in the front of that truck. They're expecting to go home at the end of that shift, and they want to be protected if a motorist enters into that work zone. We knew as a builder that we could do better than that. So my wife Pam and I started traveling the entire U.S. and Canada, looking for the very best detail in every TMA truck that we could come across, and this included visiting a lot of DOTs. We started developing what we call today best practices. There are no national standards on TMA builds that we're aware of, and someone had to raise the bar and build a better TMA. There are three very basic elements to the construction of the vehicle that you see behind us. One is that every build must meet or exceed 20,000 pounds. That's critical in the fact that when a vehicle is hit, we want to reduce the rollaway. Two, every build must have a proper braking system, which means having air brakes. And three, use only the best attenuator. The device that we choose to use is the Scorpion, manufactured by Trafix. By far, it has a lot of great capabilities, and you'll get a chance to witness that when it's deployed in the demonstration today. You've all heard a lot of facts today with regards to, as to why this technology makes a lot of sense, and some of these facts are worth repeating. According to WorkZoneSafety.org, over 750 folks died last year in work zone related deaths. That's 750 too many people. With these kinds of facts, we are driven to find the very best technology that we can add to our builds to turn into, simply saying, to take a dumb vehicle and turn it into a smart ATMA. As you can see, there are a lot of safety features on this vehicle behind me. In addition to the Scorpion attenuator, which is on the rear, and the counterweight ballast that's built into the body of the truck, there's a radar system that's tied directly into a black box, sign cage for eliminating signs from leaving the vehicle upon impact, air brakes, and much more. However, even with all these life-saving features, there is still one problem of having a driver. There's still one problem, that is having a driver in the seat of a TMA, which is considered to be the most dangerous job in the industry. During our years of traveling around the country, we have heard from a lot of folks who had firsthand witnessed their coworkers getting seriously hurt and or killed behind the wheel of a TMA. That is why this autonomous technology is so important to us. When the opportunity of partnering up with Kratos, who perfected autonomous technology in military application, was presented to us, and knowing that the very strong possibility that this technology could actually be applied to a commercial vehicle, this opportunity immediately became very exciting to us. This was the missing piece that we had been looking for to develop the most safest TMA truck in the industry for protecting our men and women. This technology will do two very important things: seriously reduce neck and back injuries that occur from direct hits, and reduce the billions of dollars a year that are spent in unnecessary medical payouts and that are directly due to work-related injuries. And the most important fact is by removing the driver from the TMA, we will eliminate any possibility of any driver being killed in a work zone from a TMA. Two years ago, when Royal and Kratos launched our first prototype ATMA, we received a lot of positive responses from around the world about this new technology. And our first order actually came from Kratos in the UK. We were able to deliver and trial the first system successfully with Colas. Colas drove the safety, was unprecedented, and made for a great partnership. Their continued drive to keep this project moving allowed for this timely success, and their feedback from months of testing was invaluable, and the development of additional systems enhanced. We were then able to take the wins from London and bring them to CDOT, where we experienced an unprecedented level of commitment from everyone on the CDOT team. I can only say that our partnership with CDOT has been nothing less than extraordinary. CDOT's vision of an AIPV, Autonomous Impact Protection Vehicle, is an important component to the improvement of safety to all the roadside workers. We see this game-changing technology as a key enabler not only to enhancing safety, but also making significant improvements to the efficiency of all operations. We salute CDOT in their vision, and for making it excellent to see where this technology will take us in the future. I would like to conclude with a short but powerful statement made by a very frustrated senior vice president of a company named DJ Construction in Louisiana. Maynard, Pam, and I met Steve at an ATSA event in Tampa, Florida, where he very passionately grabbed my coat to make sure that I could hear what he had to say. So I'm going to share his passion with you today. It's stuck with us for quite some time, hasn't it? Back in November 2015, our company was line painting the right side of the westbound lane of I-20 in Madison Parish, Louisiana, when a tractor trailer failed to move to the left lane as directed by the hour board on our TMA. Our TMA was then struck and our driver was seriously hurt. Backed up traffic delayed medical assistance. Eventually our driver was taken by ambulance to the local hospital and was then immediately airlifted to University Medical Center in Jackson, Mississippi. Once the accident was finally cleared up and we were ready to resume to the line painting operation, we had one serious problem. We could not get any of our employees to drive the replacement TMA because of what everyone had just witnessed. Can you blame them? And we were forced to do a lane closure in order to complete the project. I would simply say, and I'm quoting Steve, I keep asking myself, how can I, with a clear conscience, ask someone else to take his place when their sole purpose is to be hit and supposedly protect the other workers in front of the TMA? We have to find a better way, end of quote. It is worth noting that the driver's workman's comp portion of that claim is still ongoing. So folks, again, we're very honored as businesses here in the United States to support CDOT in this great initiative that they had the vision to take the next step up, and we're extremely proud to be here with all of you today, and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's great. Thank you. Those are, yeah, there you go.
I would like to know it's better.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob. Those are really powerful comments. Being a DOT secretary or director is a great job, and I've just had an amazing time everywhere I've worked. The toughest days are the ones, and the worst days are the ones where somebody calls you and says that one of your team members has been killed in the line of duty. It happened to me in Delaware. It's happened to me in Colorado. I know I've been to funerals for other public servants, and to me that is what I come back to as to why, when people say, why are you doing this, it's shame on us for not doing it. So thank you for that. Our last speaker today, the mayor of Fort Collins called me when we had the first, what I call the world's first commercial autonomous vehicle delivery, also known as the beer run last year, where the auto truck went 100 miles with on the interstate in fully autonomous mode. The mayor of Fort Collins called me and said, I really want to be a partner in these technologies, and the city of Fort Collins has been that. Today representing Fort Collins is Mark Jackson, the Deputy Director of Planning, Development, and Transportation. Mark?
Welcome to Fort Collins, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out. This is an exciting, exciting day. First off, I have to note that Mayor Wade Troxel really does send his apologies. He wanted to be here so madly. He has been so instrumental in bringing various parts of the community together to really work and explore this new field. The City of Fort Collins is very proud and very pleased to be a partner with CDOT, the CDOT RoadX program, Peter, and all the exciting things they're doing to explore the future of connected and autonomous vehicles, because it really truly is the future of transportation around the world, and we want to be at the forefront of that. That being said, it's not just a partnership between CDOT and the City of Fort Collins. The beautiful thing about this community is we have Colorado State University here. We also have very active, passionate folks in the business community, entrepreneurial community, Formation Group, I am so sorry, I blanked there for a second. Formation Group is a collection of private interests that have worked closely with CSU and the city to help bring the message that the City of Fort Collins, the community of Fort Collins, is a willing and able partner for autonomous and connected vehicle technologies. And with that, I will be brief and welcome you all to Fort Collins, and let's see what this thing can do.
All right, I could speak longer. I know you're dying to hear some more speeches, but I think we'd rather go and watch this in action. So while we get some of our folks get ready to fire this up, if I could get Rob and whoever you want from your team, let's get Martin, Kathy, if you want to come on up, and Mark, if you want to come, let's just get a picture in front of the attenuator. Thank you so much as well, if you want to come up here. Thank you so much, everybody, and here's to a successful test. Let's just get in front of the... Yeah. Yes. All right, let's get closer.